Hey everyone, and welcome to Sasquatch Theory. It is the day before Christmas and I decided to go camping where I had my Bigfoot encounters in 2019. I'm excited to be here, and this is all I wanted to do for Christmas because after Christmas the weather is going to dip down. Right now it's like 70 degrees, it's perfect, and I haven't been out here in a while, so I feel like there might be something hanging around. Just right over there is where I seen the jet black Sasquatch with the white stripes. Over here is where I seen the little juvenile that hid behind a tree and then stepped out. So I'm in the area where I've had a ton of experiences. Let's get everything set up and we will set up for an investigation. All right, so I have the igloo cooler, my favorite bag that I use to carry my camera equipment around when I'm hiking, of course some protection because you never know what could be around. There's the Squatch helmet. I haven't used it in a while, so I'm excited to do that. And I've busted out the DJI drone. The DJI has not let me down yet, and the video is awesome. Honestly, that little DJI Mini 2, the video footage was better than the Autel Alpha drone that cost a ton of money. I don't know why, but for some reason the video was a lot better. The zoom on the Autel Alpha was obviously better, and the thermal, but as far as just video footage, settings, software, and taking photos, as far as 180-degree photos, 360 or worldly views, and settings where the drone will follow you around and do cinematic footage, the DJI was by far way better than the Autel Alpha. And also the controller was way better. It just felt way sturdier. The Autel Alpha drone controller just felt super cheap, and yeah, the software was pretty cruddy and there wasn't very many cinematic settings. But anyways, I got the black box, and inside the box I have all kinds of cookware, toothpaste, batteries, soap, anything that I need on investigations. That way I don't have to spend so much time packing. Everything's ready to go. I have the water bottle, and right here we have the parabolic dish. I haven't used it too much lately, but it's here if I need it. Honestly, I can hear better with my ears, and also the battle helmet has the Walker earbuds that have omnidirectional mics. But yeah, I got all my camera equipment, and today I have a new Cabela's cot. You can kind of see it there. But anyways, I saw this thing online and I was like, I have to get that. I have the Cabela's chair, the table, the snug pack sleeping bag, and the tent. And this is going to be the area where I camp at. Right over there, that's where the Sasquatch got up and walked off into the cedar thicket going down towards the creek bottom. Over there is where I heard what I call a dog man howl. One vocalized over there that sounded like a tornado siren, and it was intense. This is the trail. You can't really see it anymore, but I was going down this ridge and I heard something grunt, then it blew. You could see the steam come out of its face. It was about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet tall, and it was like a brownish red color. But anyways, it looked like it poofed into smoke, or like somebody just threw sand up into the wind and it just disappeared. It disappeared like an apparition, and then something was knocking violently after the thing disappeared, I guess to distract me, but at that point I had already seen it. Yeah, over here on the other side of this road is where I seen the little juvenile Sasquatch. Also, that night that all the Sasquatch showed up to the property, I could see all these glowing eyes, and one of them stood up to about, I kid you not, like 10-13 feet high. It went up like an elevator. I mean, no animal's going to be that tall. But anyways, it was right over there, and the white Sasquatch came out of that creek bottom. So remember earlier when I said the jet black Sasquatch stood up and walked through that cedar thicket? That's where the white one came out of. All this didn't happen at the same time. It happened through a long span of time, but I'm just running through all the experiences that I've had. I'm super excited to be out here. People say don't bring a firearm, but I'm not taking any chances. If you heard that dogman creature like I did, or that huge Sasquatch whoop that sounded like a tornado siren, you would be armed too. There's good people in St. Louis City, but there is also bad people. It's the same way in the cryptid woods There are good Sasquatch out there, and there are some that aren't so nice. So I'm not taking any chances. I'd rather have it, not need it, than need it and not have it, okay?
Setting up camp in the Ozarks is different than camping in most places. Out here, you're not just finding a spot to sleep, you're placing yourself in the environment. These woods are old. They've been here long before trails, roads, or state lines. Whatever moves through this area knows it far better than we ever could. The Ozarks are full of natural corridors, ridgelines, creek beds, river bottoms. If something large wanted to move unseen, this is exactly where it would do it. If something is out here, it knows I'm here now. The question is whether it cares.
All right, we finally got the tent set up. All right, so before I put the Cabela's cot inside the tent, I wanted to show it to you guys because it's a little dark in there and you are not going to be able to see it at nighttime. What I like about this cot is it will tilt up and you can pretty much use it as a chair. It also has little bags and it looks very robust. This will be my first time using it, and no, Cabela's did not send this to me, and I'm just trying it out for myself to see how it works. I want to be comfortable out in the woods. Oh wow, I hope this thing fits. I don't even know if it's gonna fit inside the Snug Pack tent, but let's give it a try. It's gonna be a bummer if it doesn't because it's the only cot I have out here. Whew. Do a Hail Mary, take a deep breath, and let's give it a shot. It's looking like it may not fit. All right, it fits. Good deal. All right, here's something really cool. You can adjust the height and level it out. I think that is awesome. And these little legs will definitely help keep this thing leveled, but also prevent the cot from punching a hole in the bottom of the tent. That is so cool. I love this thing. But yeah, let me show you guys. Check this out. It's even got a pillow. It's got a pillow. And like I said, I can lean up and read a book if I need to. It's a lot bulkier than my last cot. I love the other cot, by the way. My brother got that for me for Christmas. But this one, it's bigger. It's a lot more to pack, but if your vehicle's close by, you can carry it. But yeah, if you're doing like a backpacking trip, you definitely want to take a hammock. Wow, it is toasty in here. I put the rain fly on there because even though it's not going to rain, for some reason it builds up moisture. And if you don't have the rain fly, like when you're sleeping, droplets of water are hitting you on the face, which is really annoying. But it is cool not having the rain fly because you can see all the stars at nighttime. But it doesn't matter because I'm out here in the woods, and yeah, I'm going to be focusing on my surroundings. I feel like if they are around, they're going to sneak up on me. I feel like the chances are high. Hope you guys have been enjoying the podcast, by the way. I've been working my tail off on interviews. Things have been tough, but I'm just grinding through it. Every setback just motivates me even more. And yeah, I'm glad that I have all you guys watching the videos. So yeah, let's continue moving so we can actually investigate. I have some things that I want to show you guys. I found some really cool finds last winter and during the summer. I never got a chance to make a video on it, but hopefully they're still around and I want to show you guys. But either way, we'll be out here for quite a while. Tomorrow's Christmas and I'm gonna head over to my family's place, open up presents, eat some food, and then come back here and keep camping. But we're only gonna do that for a few hours, so I'll be out here before and after. But yeah, I have a special guest for you guys and I think you guys are gonna be excited. I doubt I'll even need the cot or the sleeping bag. I doubt I'll even need the sleeping bag, but it adds extra padding, and if it does get cold, it's there if I need it. All right, I finally got everything set up. We got the cave tent set up, and I have all my gear right here clumped together. That way I'm not walking back and forth for different items, and it makes me feel a little safer knowing that I have my drinks, my food, my equipment, and anything that I may need at any given moment. But yeah, the Cabela's chair is set up, and I'll be able to 360 view all the way around me. Like I said, these things creep up. It seems like they stay about 80 yards off, if not a little more, probably a little more since it's wintertime. But I noticed during the summertime they'd creep up and they'd stay just far enough away where you can't see them, but you could hear them. But also there's the spiritual element to it, and that's what I'm hoping to document the most. We know these physical creatures are out there, and they're definitely like an undiscovered primate, undiscovered human, whatever you want to call it. Humans are primates, look it up, but there is a spiritual element behind it, and I want to learn as much as I possibly can.
I'm back in the same area of Missouri where I had my encounters. This isn't a place you just stumble into. You have to want to be here. It's quiet, remote, and once you're deep enough, it feels like the woods closes in around you. Missouri doesn't get enough attention when it comes to Bigfoot sightings, but it should. The terrain, the water, the cover, it's all here.
All right, so a lot of people have been asking about Yahi, and I have some really bad news. Sasquatch took him, abducted him, and took him to a cave, never to be seen again. No, I'm just kidding. He's actually inside the tent. You guys want to see him? You guys want to see Yahi? Here he is. Yahi, say hi. Here he is. He's a lot older now. He's a little over a year, and yeah, I think he's going to be an excellent part of the journey because he'll be able to pick up on the Sasquatch activity or any critter that's around. Come here, Yahi. Hey. He wants to go inside the tent. He loves the Cabela's tent, and yeah, he's pretty chill, but he's also high energy, super high energy dog. And yeah, the Australian Yahi is ready to look for the North American Bigfoot. Yahi. These liquid IVs have really helped me along my journey, and when I drink it, it goes much further than water, and I don't have to drink all day, because when you're out in the brush, your lips get chapped, you get dehydrated, and it's nice to have these so you don't have to just keep drinking water.
I bring my Australian Shepherd Yahi with me on these investigations for a reason. His senses are on a completely different level than mine. He notices things long before I do. Sounds I can't hear. Movement I can't see. Out here, I pay close attention to how he reacts. When he's calm, the woods usually feels normal. When he's alert, that's when I start paying closer attention.
Yahi. Hey, Yahi. Hey. Let's go look for Bigfoot. Sit. Hey, sit. Sit. You want to go look for Bigfoot? All right, I'm going to take you down to the creek bottom, and we're going to look for some sign, okay? Let's do it. Let's do it, okay? All right, looks like some old deer droppings. You can tell a buck's been here. For those of you that don't know, this is buck turd, and doe turd is like a bunch of little round balls. So yeah, that's buck droppings right there. It's really cool to be back in the area where I've had so many experiences. And yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever listened to my encounters. I talk about sitting in a black chair and experiencing activity. There's the black chair right there. Sorry, Yahi's being a little pain. It's hard to have the dog out during expeditions because he makes so much noise, and you really have to watch out for him because you never know what he's gonna do. Come on, Yahi. It's like having a little kid with you, but a little kid that can pick up on the Sasquatch activity, and I feel like he will attract them too. Yeah, there's a black chair. I would always sit in that chair and just sit here for hours experiencing activity here and there throughout the years. Oh, he's got to pee. He's got to mark his territory. But yeah, right down here is the creek bottom. All right, so right here is an old rock pile that the Sasquatch left. And they haven't messed with it in a long time, but basically they had these stones in a circle. And I come down here all the time, so I can tell when something's different, but that was a few years ago. And it reminded me of like a solar system, because there was a big rock in the middle and all the rocks were on the outer end. But yeah, during the summertime, they mess with some rocks down here, and they were not there before. I come down here all the time looking for new rock structures. Okay, so this looks moved as well. Like I said, I'm down here all the time. I don't know what kind of rock that is, but you can definitely tell that it's been moved at some point. Definitely not fairly recent, but yeah, there's the creek bottom. Sorry, yeah, he's making so much noise. It's hard to film with him around. But yeah, there's the creek bottom. Basically, this creek pours into the Merrimack River, and where it pours out at, there's been BFRO reports in the past. It's only 5 minutes from here. But yeah, it was really cool after I had my encounters and I looked up Bigfoot in Missouri and found reports just right down the creek. Blew my mind, honestly. And there's all kinds of experiences on that section of the Merrimack River. But yeah, I'll show you guys these rocks that I found. I wish I would have filmed it when I first found it, but I'll show you guys either way. Okay. Sorry, he's just not gonna stop making so much noise. He's got 4 legs too, so that's just how it's gonna be. But yeah, basically, here's the creek bottom. It runs through here. But right here, they left 3 stones. Let me show you guys. This one's upright. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera, but there used to be fresh leaves underneath. Sorry, he's just going to be making a ton of noise. But anyways, this stone, oh my gosh, this thing is heavy. There's one stone. Here's another one. Like I said, I found this earlier in the summertime. So there's 3 stones right here. To me, that means 3 Sasquatch were in the area, and I feel like they're communicating to one another, and they check in and out of these creek bottoms, and basically they leave their scent all over it, or there's some sort of an energy anomaly with the stones. A lot of people say that stones have healing properties and different types of energy, and it's not too far out there to believe that stones have healing properties, because at hospitals or schools they have like the railways, and I think they're made out of like a certain type of metal. I'm not sure. I think like silver and other metals will kill bacteria. So who knows what's up with these rocks. You can definitely tell there's some iron in there, and this thing is heavy as heck. But yeah, what blows my mind is this one right here. This stone, how it's upright. But yeah, I've been wanting to show you guys this for a while, and I told myself I'm not going to show people this until I come out here and camp. But yeah, here it is, 3 stones. They were not there before. Like I said, I'm out here all the time. And yeah, the last time, remember the rocks that I just showed you guys that were in a circle and it reminded me of a solar system? When I touched those, just like I picked these up, I picked up one of those rocks, and one of the Sasquatch threw a huge rock. It came across the creek bottom, and actually it hit right here. Like, I can't remember where the tree limb is, but it hit like one of these tree limbs, and when it did, the tree limb was doing this. I watched that rock fly from the other side of the creek, hit this little tree, and yeah, it was loud. And I think they got ticked off when I touched their stuff. I know that sounds out there, but it definitely happened. Come out here and I'll sit on this old rotten log when water's flowing through here, and I just sit here and kind of pray, meditate, and think about my life. Yahi's definitely having the time of his life. You having fun, Yahi? I'm not feeling anything strange so far. I mean, the woods seems like your typical woods. Sometimes you go out to these areas and you just feel this presence, this strong energy, like you're being watched, like, I don't know, like you feel drained. And it's almost like walking into a house that's haunted. But yeah, these woods are definitely haunted. We are in the Ozarks. And it's really cool that my family has property out here and they have Sasquatch activity. Not many people can say that, but I don't know. I kind of feel like these things left and they come back, they frequent the area, but they're for a while. They were here for a long time. And I just felt like these things were everywhere, and that's not the case. Over time, I learned that these things move in, do their thing, hang out for a while, and then just disperse. And it's almost like they never even existed. But yeah, I'm out here to figure out if they're around. That's the only way. I'm not gonna hang an audio recorder. I might regret that, but I always hang an audio recorder. I'm not gonna do that this time. I have it on the table next to the tent. If something happens, I'll turn it on and start recording, but I'll also have my cameras. It's just nice to have a backup system. But I'm tired of always setting up the recorder and not getting much. I'm really going through a lot of batteries, and I've come up with a system that isn't working. But it's there if I need it. I mean, if it was in a tree and something happened, I got it. Who knows? I might hang it up, okay? I'm starting to think about it. I'm like, Miguel, that's a bad idea. Definitely hang up the audio recorder. Gosh, he makes so much noise. What can you do, though? You guys asked for it. You guys said, where's Yahi? Bring Yahi. Well, here he is, making a ton of noise, destroying the audio. But it's cool. He's leaving his scent all over the place. These things might hone in on the dog and it might tick them off and they might come in. But if it doesn't happen, it's just going to make me look like a crazy person. It definitely does when you talk about Sasquatch activity. For example, like how I touched their rock and they threw a rock. It just makes you sound crazy, but that's really what happened. Anyone that would have been here, they would have been like, what? For real. All right, so I noticed something strange around my campsite. This would actually be the spot where I would set up a black chair and look for Sasquatch activity, or just sit and listen anyways. But I've come here before and they'd stab little sticks into the ground or in the middle of the trail. But I noticed this behind my camp. Okay, so here's camp, and if you walk about 5 feet, there is this little bitty stick jabbed into the ground. I don't feel like that would be able to fall from the air and stick into the ground. See that? It's in the dirt. Let me pull it out. I'll put it back. Oh no, it's in there. But yeah, see that? It was about 2 inches in. Maybe it did fall from a tree. But that thing fell like a freaking dart. And yeah, there it is. What do you guys think? Coincidence? Maybe. But I think not. They've done it before, like I said, and I've noticed a few other ones, little sticks poked into the ground. Maybe they did fall out of the tree, but who knows? Another thing about the campsite is it's right off of a game trail. There's just buck rubs, deer droppings all the way up and down this ridge going down to the creek bottom. So yeah, I hear that the Sasquatch hang out next to game trails, and I believe it's true. These deer have used this same trail since I was a little bitty kid, and this is where I've had a lot of the Sasquatch activity. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set up a little offering spot down there at the creek bottom where the stones are at, and I'm going to leave some apples, some coffee, some tea leaves, some cinnamon sticks, and I'm just going to tell them that I'm not here to mess with them. If they want to interact, it's completely up to them, and it's worth a shot. Recently I interviewed a First Nations native from Canada, and he shared some of their traditions with me, and that's what they would do. They would leave sweetgrass, brown sugar, coffee grounds, tobacco. I don't have any tobacco, but if I did, I'd leave some. So I'm going to give that a shot, and they know more than we do. They've been on this land for many generations, so it definitely works. A lot of researchers today leave gifts, and they've learned over time that if you leave apples, these things will interact with you. If you leave chocolate, peanut butter, etc. And that's the same thing that the Native Americans came up with. So it took us a long time to figure it out. Think about how long it took the natives, the First Nations people, to figure this out. They've been here longer than we have. And our new research goes back around to what the natives told us from the very beginning. So we brushed them off, we pushed them out, and now we've pretty much come up with the exact same ideas that they've been telling us about from the very beginning. If you guys want to check out that podcast, I will leave a link down below. It's actually a really cool interview, and I learned a lot. Hopefully I don't see the red-eye cryptids out here. He said if you ever see a Bigfoot with red eyes, it's a shapeshifter, pretty much masquerading as a Bigfoot. So watch out for that, guys. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave an offering. The First Nations people told me what to use and kind of how to go about it. I mean, I'm kind of going to make up my own way, but I'm going to use items that they recommended for me to leave. And this is a spot where I know the Sasquatch frequent. Like I said, this creek bottom pours into the Merrimack River, and the Sasquatch follow the waterways, and they've been here in the past. I've seen them, I know they're here, and I just want to leave a gift to thank them for allowing me to actually see them and to let them know that I'm not here to mess with them. So let's give it a shot. All right, so the first item I'm going to leave is an apple. I hear the Sasquatch really like apples, so here's one. I bought some coffee grounds, and they're in a bag, but the Sasquatch have hands just like people, so I'm going to leave it in the bag. That way the wind doesn't carry off the coffee grounds. And right here we have some tea leaves, and this is from a fruit from Mexico called guayaba. It's like a little yellow fruit, and it's actually really good. But here are the leaves. I'm going to put these right here in this little groove on the log. And here's another leaf, but right here we have some cinnamon sticks. So we'll leave the cinnamon for the Sasquatch. It has a really good smell. You can also make a tea out of cinnamon, so I feel like they will like that. I'll also leave this on the log in this little groove. But yeah, I want the Sasquatch to know that I appreciate them for interacting with me and revealing themselves to me. I ask for protection. If there are good Sasquatch out there, I ask that they protect me from any evil spiritual forces such as dogman, wendigos, rakes, skinwalkers, whatever it may be. And I ask that the Sasquatch give me something, and I want them to know that people have filmed them in the past and nobody believes. People have experienced the activity and documented it. They've captured vocalizations, and the people do not believe. They think it's a man in a suit. We have our own version of shapeshifters, and the people like to manipulate what's truly going on. So even if you guys stepped out, showed yourselves on camera, the people will not believe. They will think that I'm tricking them. But yeah, you guys do what you want, and this is for you guys. If you choose not to interact with me, I completely understand, but I would like to hear you guys, and I pray that God protects me and reveals these spiritual beings to me. And I know it may not happen on this trip, but it might happen in the future, and I just ask for your protection. The First Nations people, the Native Americans, call you the great creator, and all glory and honor goes to you. So thank you so much, and thank you to the Sasquatch beings that interacted with me in the past. You guys are amazing, and you guys knew when I was suffering, going through some trouble in my life. You guys didn't harm me, and you guys had many opportunities to take me out and you didn't. So here's some coffee, an apple, some guayaba leaves, some cinnamon sticks, and I'll be right up there on the ridge. I'm not here to screw with you guys, and I'm gonna leave you guys in peace. If you guys can, accept these offerings, and I hope you guys are doing well. I missed the little juvenile. I wish I could see him again. I named him Kimbo. I don't know what you guys call him. First Nations people call you guys Mastapio, the hairy man. And I hope I'm able to walk out of this forest alive. All right, so I just left an offering right here behind me, and I did what the First Nations people told me to do. And yeah, I don't feel like I'm praying to these people or I don't know, interacting with some sort of pagan god. These things are out there, and I feel like God let me see these things for a reason. If I'm going to research, I'm going to have to do it the way the First Nations people have been telling us to do it. So yeah, hopefully they come up, hopefully they interact with me. If they don't, I completely understand. And yeah, they have their reasons, but I know they're around, and I have a feeling that we're going to experience at least one strange thing. On all these research trips, we don't walk away empty-handed. We look back and we think to ourselves, wow, there was definitely some strange things going on, even if it was just rock clacks, one wood knock, something charging through the woods, stomping, whatever it may be. They always give us something. But yeah, I feel like the offering will definitely help, and I just want to make peace with these things. I'm not out here to tick them off, so that's what that's about. I'm not out here worshiping them like they're some god, but they are definitely here, and we have to respect them. And that's what the First Nations people are very adamant about. Respect the land, respect the animals. If you take something, leave something. And I've noticed that with the Sasquatch. One time I gifted them trout fish, and they brought the basket back. I've left them apples. They'll leave half the apples and take the other half. So there is something to it, and we're never going to learn if we don't listen to the First Nations people who have lived with these things. They were out there. Can you imagine camping in the woods your entire life? Can you imagine what they've heard? It was really cool hearing the Ron Moorhead Sierra sounds and other vocalizations that people have captured, but I think to myself, man, I wonder what the Native Americans, what the First Nations people heard when they were camping. And it had been terrifying because they didn't have a big house to run into. They couldn't lock up the door and barricade themselves in the basement. They were out there in teepees. So when they heard these things, they were at the mercy of the forest. So yeah, you definitely want to respect these things. And if only the natives, the First Nations people, had an audio recorder and a camera, they could have captured some really cool things. But yeah, the sun is starting to go down. I want to go back up to camp, cook some food. I don't have enough time to explore today, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. And yeah, I want to get the scent of the food in the air, and I just want to relax and prepare myself for a nighttime investigation.
I didn't come here looking for Bigfoot the first time. That's important to understand. I wasn't chasing a story. I wasn't filming content. I was just spending time in the woods. What happened here changed how I look at places like this. Once that happens, you don't just forget it.
All right, so this may be irrelevant. I'm not really sure what I'm hearing, but I just left the offering. I haven't left the spot, and I'm hearing noises like critters moving around me. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's a squirrel, maybe it's a fox, raccoon, possum, whatever it may be, but it just sounds like something's coming in. And the entire time I've been out here, it's been dead silent. So I just wanted to make a note of that. Could be anything, could be a bird, but who knows? There seem to be 3 of them, one over there, one over here, and another one over there. Just, I don't know, like the feeling, the atmosphere changed. Like there's a different feeling in the air. I'm not really sure what it is, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna go back and cook some food. Yahi's gonna alert me if there's something around. And I just pray that God watches over me. I don't know what I just did. Maybe I ticked them off, but I feel like I made a peace offering with them. We'll see. I'm a little nervous because I've never tried that before. All right, we're gonna head back up to camp and cook some food. The sun is starting to go down. I just want to make sure Yahi's taken care of. He's gonna be the early alarm system to let us know if something is around. But yeah, this is where I grew up at. Definitely a lonely place. All my old friends have moved to the big cities around the United States, and I I stuck around here. I just can't do it. Life goes way too fast in the cities, and I just enjoy the peace and serenity of the great outdoors. It does get lonely though, but I love it and I wouldn't trade it for anything. That walk will tire you out. It's uphill the entire way back. Sometimes I camp next to roads and campgrounds, but today I'm choosing to camp in the woods. We'll see what happens. Not too far away from civilization, but I am in the woods. Sometimes you have to take a leap of faith. So there's camp from a distance. I like the green, black, and blue. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb because a lot of people use like yellow, orange, light green tents. I like being in incognito. Stealthy is the best way to go. That way people don't steal your stuff. The camp is surrounded by trail cameras, so we'll have to check them to see if there's anything on there. So there's camp, and let me show you guys. Over here, there's a watering hole, and right here at this watering hole in 2019, when I was having a lot of activity, I found an awesome track. I don't know if I can find it and put it in this video, but yeah, the track was right there in the clay. It was an awesome track. But yeah, there's this little watering hole, and I set up a camera right there. Oh yeah, so I said there's all kinds of little sticks poked into the ground. Here's another one. There it is. That one may be questionable though. It's hard to say. I did leave an apple here, and I have a brownie, Little Debbie brownie. So we'll have to see if that spikes up the activity. I doubt it. I mean, you never know though. I've heard these things go through people's coolers, so I have everything right here. This is a recipe for Sasquatch. All right, we're gonna start cooking. So I'm setting up the stove, the old Coleman. This thing's been very reliable, and it's never let me down yet. All right, we have some strip steak. Let's see how that works. Somebody sent me some mojo rub citrus blend. I'm gonna give that a shot. And some soul food seasoning. See how this works out, guys. I like mine extra salty. All right, I also have some stuffed mushrooms. These are stuffed baby Bella mushrooms, cheese with imitation bacon bits. This is gonna bring in the Squatch for sure. I know Sasquatch Theory has recently turned into a cooking show, but I gotta show you guys the journey. I gotta film what I'm doing out here. That's what makes me a content creator. Look at that. Smell that. Smells good. These pans are horrible. I think they're Ozark Trail from Walmart, but everything sticks to it. It's what I've been using because I heard the non-stick's not very good for you either, so who knows. You can't win nowadays, guys. Everything's got cancer, everything's gonna kill you. You're darned if you do, darned if you don't. Whatever. Alright, I'm a little nervous about the offering, and I've gifted before, but not like that. I just feel like, one, they could interact with me and I have a positive encounter, or two, things go completely wrong and I accidentally call in something that maybe I wish I wouldn't have called in. Perhaps it's possible that it could open up a portal and other things could get through. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a peace offering to appease the spirits. And yeah, there's no doubt that the Sasquatch have supernatural abilities, and you definitely want to respect them because they are around. A lot of times when you think there's absolutely nothing around, that's when they make their move. So just because you go out to a forest or you've hunted your entire life and you think to yourself, I've never seen anything, that doesn't mean that they didn't see you. When I went to Minnesota, my good friend Chris, he left an offering before me and Adam got there, and the activity was absolutely off the charts. As soon as we got there, things popped off, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, days after that, every night we'd hear stuff, and it was insane. Even during the day, we'd hear rock clacks as we were walking down the trails. We'd hear loud thumps, wood knocks, trees being pushed over, strange vocalizations, orbs in the woods. And that's what my friend told me, that he left them an offering, and basically he's like, hey, I'm not out here with you guys. I just want to come here in peace. I have some friends coming over, and if you guys can, reveal yourselves to us. We're not here to mess with you, is pretty much what he said. Obviously I wasn't there. He left I think like some tobacco and some other items, and they took them. He left them on a big stone. That blew my mind. I left some things, they got moved around, but one thing that really stuck out to me on the last day, my friend Chris like reached into his pocket and he's like, what the? He pulled out this round stone. He has no idea how it got in his pocket, and I just kind of thought, wow, that is weird. Maybe it's the little people. Maybe it was Bigfoot. Maybe it like somehow supernaturally appeared in your pocket. Who knows? I mean, I was left scratching my head. But later on after the trip, I think it was a few weeks after that, Chris messaged me and he's like, check this out. He took a magnet and it sticks to the stone. And not like barely, like boom. So the rock is magnetic. That is strange. Last winter I was exploring across the creek bottom here, and I found a really cool structure. It was like a cedar tree with other trees weaved into it. I did film that, so I'll try to put that into this video, but it seemed... Alright, that break is very interesting. Nothing fell on top of that cedar tree. It's going to be hard to tell on camera. Yeah, that's the right height. I mean, that's the top of my hand, so it's got to be like 8 feet. Look at that break. Wow. And what really amazes me is this oak tree. It goes around. See how it goes around? And underneath that cedar, nothing fell on top of it that would have broke this cedar tree like that. So that's pretty incredible. This oak tree is a pretty good distance from the cedar tree, and it's tucked underneath it. Doesn't make sense. Cool. Finally found some sign where I had my encounters. It seems like to me like it was a territorial marker, and it was definitely fresh, so it told me that sometime in the winter last year they were roaming through the area, and that's how it's been like lately. Like, it's not intense activity. I'm not having sightings anymore, and they leave things here and there. You know that they frequent the area. I don't know if it's like a long-term thing or they're just checking in and out. Yeah, I got the steak going and the mushrooms, and that smell is going directly towards the offering station down there at the creek bottom. We'll see what happens. Alright, so I have some bacon Caesar salad. I'm gonna cook that up as well. I'm hungry, guys. I'm always hungry. So I wanted to take a minute to thank the people that support the channel, all the people that watch the videos, the people that comment, the positive comments anyways. And the people that donate through the thanks button consistently, through the PayPal donate, honestly, I would not be able to buy all this gear if you guys didn't watch the videos and donate. So yeah, you guys make all this possible. So I felt obligated to be out here Christmas Eve. I had some family members that were a little ticked off that I'm camping out in the woods, but you know, it is what it is, and I gotta keep the research going, and I'm gonna be with them tomorrow during Christmas, so they understand. But yeah, I plan on getting out there in the brush. I recently got a new tent, a hot tent, and what that means is it has a stove inside of it, so I'll be able to go out to the killing fields and camp when it's super cold. The only problem lately is I've been doing podcasts, people have been canceling and pretty much scheduling Sasquatch theory. Lately it hasn't been working where both parties decide a time that works for each person. It's like they schedule me down and I just have to work with it. It is what it is. But yeah, I'm going back to my old rule that I don't vet people. I just call them, hear their story, and I record it and I post it up on the channel, because it's been really tough. A lot of people say, can we talk first? We talk first and they ghost me. So it's not about me. It's not about you. It's not about just getting to chit chat on the phone. It's about logging down these reports, getting it out there, and letting other people know that they're not alone. That's not selfish. That's me preserving my energy and not being like an emotional support system for people, which I am, but I still have to remember the channel. People found me through the channel, so that's how it works. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I know that sounds selfish, but I do have a mission, and people have to remember that they would have never found me if it wasn't for the channel, so I have to focus on the channel. But anyways, yeah, it's been tough to do research because people pretty much want to schedule me and run my channel for me. But it is what it is. I mean, sometimes I have to do that, and people have lives too, and I have to respect that. So that's how it is. And I just felt like I needed to explain that for the people that really enjoy the research videos. I'm out here camping on Christmas Eve because it's the only time I've found to go camping, because the weather's 70 degrees. Sunday it's going to drop down to like 19 degrees, and yeah, I found a window of opportunity, and this is my Christmas gift. I kind of burnt the steak a little bit, but like I said, these pots and pans really suck. All right, dinner is done. Look at that steak. It's halfway burnt. We got well done and then medium. Wonder if the Squatch are watching me. I don't know. That's why I cook, though. I'm not just out here trying to have a cooking show. I'm trying to get that smoke up in the air, the smell of food, and yeah, I feel like that could be an attractant. Why not? It brings in black bears, grizzly bears, other critters, and right before it gets dark too. Perfect timing for the thermal. And as far as the Autel Alpha drone, they want to charge me about 12 grand to get that drone fixed, so I might just cut my loss and not pay for it and just lose all that money. Here's why: because I'm going to be paying a lot more to get it fixed, and who's to say when I get that drone back the same thing's not going to happen, and then it's just going to be a repetitive cycle. I tried telling them that I had major issues before that drone fell out of the air. Where they got me at, though, is I did cancel the return to home because I still had like 28% left on the battery. I canceled it. I was watching two bucks sparring in a field, and it's like the drone's right there, probably about 100 yards away from me. I can see it. And yeah, it dropped down to 17%, and I'm like, ooh, that's kind of weird. And then as soon as I thought that, it dropped down to 10%, and then an alarm went off. Boom, 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 boom. Low battery warning, low battery. I'm like, oh boy, I'm at 10%. I better land it. As soon as I think I better land it, it just drops out of the sky, and I hear. But yeah, they're trying to say that I crashed the drone into a tree. I did not crash it. The batteries just went from like 20-something% to 0 very quick. And even when it was stuck in a tree, it still said I had 9% battery left. So basically, what they're displaying on their screen is not accurate. So you better bring it back when you have like 30-something%. And yeah, I'm not wanting to pay 11, 12 grand to get it fixed just so the same thing can happen again. Who's to say it won't fall out of the sky again? Half the time, the thermal camera would not even turn on. I went all the way to Minnesota and the thermal camera wouldn't turn on. It was just a black screen. Kind of weird. And then when I first got the drone, I'd zoom in, everything was real smooth and I could just zoom in super far away. After a few flights, it was like this. Like, it doesn't even want to zoom in. Like, you zoom in all the way and then it just like wants to drift off. The drone would also drift off and go its own directions. The map wouldn't come up. It was just a black screen. I tried telling them I had major issues. I wish I would have contacted them before I crashed the drone or before it fell out of the sky, but I thought it was me. Maybe I need to recalibrate it. Maybe I need to update it. I need to do this, and rightfully so, because just to ship it off to them, that's going to cost hundreds of dollars. They charged me like $800 something to ship that drone. And to get insurance, you have to pay like $800 something. So that's like $1,600 just to ship it. I'm not going to ship it every time I think there's something wrong with the drone. But I don't know. I'm just kind of in a tough spot. And so far, I do not recommend that people buy Autel. If they fix it, I will recommend it. I'm not trying to be a jerk or be a brat about it, but yeah, I mean, it's under warranty. They should totally fix it. But in their eyes, it's all my fault, and they're not wanting to take responsibility for the fact that it just fell out of the sky when it still had juice. Who knows? It's just something that I'm watching this video. Adam just posted a video that I helped him out with, and my phone is just like glitching out. But anyways, I'm laying down that night in my tent, and I'm thinking like, man, I didn't really experience too much activity. Something weird going on with my phone. Like 10 or 20 minutes in my tent. It was going crazy. I don't know what was going on. I'm sitting there wide awake, and from the gate on the conservation side, I hear something just runs past my... All right, I am sitting around the fire. It took a little while to get that going, and I remembered I forgot Yahi's dog food, so I had to go back to the house, and I grabbed his doggy bed because if I don't, he's going to be jumping on top of my cot and wanting to sleep with me, and I don't want that. He's hairy, he stinks, and he's too warm. Like I said, it's 70 degrees. I don't let him sleep in my bed because I don't want to pull out hairs out of my mouth, and yeah, that's just gross, honestly. I don't judge other people, of course, but he's just too big of a hairy dog to do that with. I had a Siberian Husky before I got Yahi. He passed away. I had him for like, I would say like 15 years, but yeah, he was a hairball, and it was really difficult to raise a dog like that. And yeah, he's a good boy. He sheds, but it's not that bad. Not as bad as a Siberian Husky. But yeah, he's just hanging out, chilling out behind the camera. He's being really good. Everything's been normal. I haven't experienced anything strange. Not yet, anyways. And we may not, but I just wanted to record the journey. And it's not necessarily about Bigfoot. It's about getting out into the great outdoors and putting yourself out there. If not, you'll never know. And I always wonder that when I'm at home and not out in the woods, like, man, I bet these things are out there. I bet they're roaming around tonight. It's a full moon. Wow, you can see all the stars tonight. And sometimes it bothers me. Like, I'm not out there to do research, and these things are possibly hollering and displaying extreme activity in one of my areas. But after a while, you really get frustrated because there's so many different areas to research. It gets pretty overwhelming. It's like, oh, I want to be at the killing fields. I want to be where I experience past activity. I want to go to other places where people have reported sightings and where there's ongoing activity. And after a while, you just realize that we're just human, and we can't be out there to explore every single spot all at once. I hear that a lot in the comments. I've been everywhere. I'm 50 or 60 years old, and I've been to every state, and I didn't see anything. No such thing exists. And it's like, just because you put 1 foot in one valley in a state, that doesn't mean you marked it for life and your eyeballs are there constantly watching. It's like, you went there, you didn't see anything, now you're back at home. And that place still remains, and these things are roaming around out there. Just because you didn't see anything doesn't mean they're not out there. It's like, if I went to Colorado and it's like, I didn't see any elk, that means there's no elk there. I mean, it's the same way with Sasquatch. And I understand, I mean, you would think after traveling all over the place you would experience something crazy, but that's not how it works. And yeah, there's a lot of woodsmen out there, a lot of outdoorsmen that have been all over the place, hunted for every species, and they never seen these things. But you know what? Some people have. Like I said, it's a pretty warm night, so I don't really need the fire, but the fire makes me feel safe. And I feel like the glow from the fire, the smoke, will attract these things. Who knows, maybe not. But I left an offering, and I can't help but wonder what kind of activity that will cause. Hopefully nothing too chaotic, but I do hope they interact with me. It's going to be cool going back down there to see if the apple, the cinnamon stick, the tea leaves, and the coffee is still there. Most likely it will be, but if it's missing, who knows? I gifted some peanut butter jars a long time ago. This was years ago, and I looked for those jars and I didn't see them anywhere. When I was walking down that trail, there was a pile of jars. It's like, where the heck do these jars come from? I feel like they take them and then they bring them back, but it took them a long time to bring them back. I mean, I looked everywhere for those jars, and there they were. I didn't film them. I'll film them tomorrow, but yeah, I just wanted to make that known. But yeah, I'm going to pull out the thermal device, look around, and yeah, that pulsar thermal device, the monocular that I have, that thing's worked out so well. It's very robust. It's extremely waterproof. I haven't had any issues with it, other than filming, and like what I record looks a little degraded from what I actually seen through the actual device. But other than that, I haven't had like any technical difficulties with it. The software works really good. The updates always work very well. It's just been an all-around really good piece of equipment. I highly recommend it. Like I said, I'm not endorsed by those guys, but it's just a piece of gear that I've purchased that actually works and has stood the test of time. Unlike that freaking Autel Alpha drone. Man, I'm so bummed out about that. I'm not trying to give them a bad name, but at the same time, I have to speak up because I've flown that drone and I showcased it, and it's let me down. Part of it was my error, but at the same time, it definitely was a failure with the device itself, and the aircraft failed to maintain accuracy with the battery life percentage, and yeah, I'm not happy about it. So I gotta let people know so they don't go buy one and experience the same thing that I did, which is a bummer. I don't want you guys to go through that, and it's been hell on me, but they are working with me. They've done a second and a third review, and I think they're doing a fourth review now, and I'm trying to elevate the issue to upper management, but we'll see how it goes. Holy crap, holy crap. Okay, so here's what just happened. I'm not trying to be dramatic. Heard two loud, big wood knocks. I mean, and I thought maybe somebody's around in the distance, chopping wood or doing something, and then this huge tree came crashing down by the creek bottom. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Okay, now Yahi's looking that way. Alright, I have to go down there. Why did I not put up an audio recorder? I knew I would regret it. Oh my gosh. That scared the shit out of me. Okay, so straight down that way. That's exactly where I told you guys earlier, where the jet black Sasquatch with the white stripes went to, and where the white one came out of when I saw the eyes. Oh my god. And the wind is blowing that exact direction. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that just happened. I'm more frustrated with myself for not putting up an audio recorder. What the heck is wrong with me? Alright. Here it is. Here's the audio recorder. And it did not go up tonight. Why did I not do that? Alright, the night is still young. Let's set this puppy up. We're going down there. Yahi definitely looks concerned too. Oh, they're wood knocking. And Yahi's acknowledging it. Alright. It has begun. What have I done? Hopefully I did not open up Pandora's box. Alright, weird. This recorder is just like not working. I just opened up a fresh pack of batteries, put the battery in there, and it said pretty much that the SD card was messed up and I need to format it. So I went to format, then it said the battery was dead. It's a brand new battery. Why is the card messed up? Never had that issue before. Strange. It's just not acting right. And my phone was going crazy. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh man, what is going on here? Weird. Never had that happen. Okay, I tried to select format card and it says battery dead. Alright, I got the recorder lined out. I'm gonna go down there where I left the offering. Oh man, wish me luck. They are here. Oh my gosh, just two loud wood knocks. Boom, boom. I thought, okay, somebody around me is doing something, and then holy crap, right at the creek bottom too. These things stay close to the creeks, for sure. I think that was a coyote. I'm heading down to the creek bottom to set up this audio recorder. Things are definitely getting spooky. The vibe just changed. I told Yahi to stay at camp. Hopefully he does. Oh man. These things are here and I'm walking towards them. What a spooky feeling. I told myself I would never be out here at night after seeing them, and here I am. Doing what I said I would never do. Funny how that works out, huh? We tell ourselves we're done with the situation, we want no part of it, and next thing we know, we're back in that situation. I'm just going to keep the camera rolling in case something happens. Alright, so there's the triple, quadruple tree. I'll have to remember that in the morning because I have no idea where I'm setting up this recorder at nighttime. I'll probably hang it there on that scraggly tree. Alright, the audio recorder is set up. That vocalization came from right down there. Alright, I'm not sure if you guys are trying to scare the crap out of me, but it worked. I appreciate it. If you guys can, continue the activity, and I want to see what you guys have. That offering was for you guys. Can you push over another tree? This is the same area where they would just push over tree after tree. In 2019, when I was having activity, there was one day within 30 or 40 minutes they pushed over 4 or 5 trees. Zero wind, just that's weird. Another tree falls down. Weird. 2 trees fell down, and shortly after more trees would fall. It's like, okay, something's going on here. Wow, that was cool. 2 loud wood knocks and a huge tree crashed down at the creek bottom. It's going to be really hard to find that tree because there's all kinds of big trees that have fallen over down at the creek bottom. But that one sounded like it was deliberate and very forceful. Can you guys give me a wood knock? You don't have to be afraid of the camera. Nobody believes in you guys. Even if I do record you, people are going to say it's fake. They're going to say I did it. Oh, there's a vocalization back that way. This place is lit up tonight. Now the coyotes are going off. Oh, my arm's getting tired. Whoop! Whoop! All right, I'm going back to my camp, and I'm going to leave you guys at peace. You guys have your space, I have my space. Please respect me, and I'm going to respect you as much as I possibly can. I cross some boundaries with the recorder and the camera, but you guys scared the crap out of me, so we're even, right? Good boy. Are you watching camp? Are you watching camp? Good boy. Good boy. Wow, that was intense. I still can't believe that happened. I did hear some strange vocalizations back this way and over there, but it did sound like coyotes. I think it was. But yeah, a lot of people say weird. Oh my god, holy crap, there is a light up there. There's a freaking light. What the hell? What the heck? Hang on, that's not normal. Oh man, it shut off. The hell? What the hell? No. There was a light over there. Yeah, let me sit back down in my chair. Okay, there it is. That light's not supposed to be there. See it? That light is not supposed to be there. What the hell? I gotta go see what that is now. Let me get in front of this fire. Sorry guys, I'm freaking out right now. Okay, I'm going towards the light. I don't see it anymore. It seemed like it was really close to camp. What the heck? What? No way. Maybe somebody's out here with me. What in the world? I'm genuinely concerned. That was very close. Seemed like somebody with a lantern or a flashlight out in the woods. I don't see anything. Alright, I'm going back to camp. I checked it out, it's not here. Like I said, I told these things I'm gonna go back to camp and I'm gonna chill out so they come up to me. Whew, okay. Hands are a little shaky. What's that glowing thing behind him though? That's gotta be like his reflector. No, I definitely saw a big bright light over here. About 3 or 4 feet off the ground. Like a bright planet in the night sky, but in the woods. That was pretty cool. Now I'm back at camp. That light is gone. That light is not there anymore. Not really sure. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. It seems like it's really close. I don't get it. How's that even possible? I was just there. Okay, it's back, but and just as bright in the same spot, but I was just there. I don't get it. I feel like I'm being watched by somebody. You guys saw it. There was a light there. But yeah, I don't know. People always ask, why do I have so many experiences? It seems like anywhere I go, I have experiences. Well, the truth is, I'm out there. I'm doing what I'm doing right now. It's Christmas Eve. Who else is out there on Christmas Eve looking for Bigfoot? Not very many people. And then there's the argument like, well, my uncle, he elk hunts and he's in an area way more remote than you. Okay, fair enough. Maybe your uncle is in an area way more remote than me elk hunting, and I don't know why he's not experiencing activity. I can theorize as to why. When deer hunting starts, these areas are really remote, there's rarely people in there, but when deer season starts, elk season starts, all of a sudden there's all these vehicles driving all these Forest Service roads, people are out there bugling away, and the Sasquatch get tricked and they come into the bugle tubes and the vocalizations that they hear thinking it's elk, and they realize it's people. Well, that happens a few times, they pick up on it really quick, and year after year they figured out, oh, it's elk season. All of a sudden there's vehicles all over the place, there's these hunters calling an elk, and they're watching. I mean, right now deer season's pretty much over as far as the rifle season. It's still bow hunting season, but that's why I'm here, is because muzzle loading season starts on the 28th. I think it's the 24th today, so I got this open window of opportunity. Like I said, the weather's perfect. Deer season ended a while back, and it's not muzzleloading season, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be out there when it's muzzleloading season and possibly risk getting shot by somebody. Also, if I was out there muzzleloading, I'd be ticked off. I saw some guy with a camera being like, yo, I'm out here looking for Bigfoot, and doing whoops and wood knocks. Like, that ticked me off if I saw someone out there. I was actually on the Ozark Trail bow hunting this past year, and these two Ozark trail hunters, they weren't even on the trail, they went into the woods, and this guy was like strutting around. He had shorts that were pretty much way above his knees, and he had like a bandana on. He looked like Hot Rod. If you guys have ever seen Hot Rod the movie, the guy looked like that. He came out strutting. He's like, and he had his GoPro. He's like, we're out here hiking the Ozark Trail. But it was funny because I'm in the tree watching them, and they had no idea I was there. After a while, I had to like peek out from behind the tree. I think one of the guys saw me and he like left, and the other guy left too. But it's like, hey, I'm out here hunting. What are you doing? It's a food plot, not the Ozark Trail. But they were just having a good time. I couldn't be mad, and I should have went deeper into the woods. But yeah, I don't want to mess up anyone's hunt, is all I'm saying. I'm having a good time though. Back at camp, and the goal is to let them come to me. This isn't going to be a trip where I'm just like out there walking at night making all kinds of noise. Like I said before, it doesn't seem like I have a ton of activity when I do that. Or even during the day if I walk super far. I seem to find more when I stay in a core area and I let them come to me. Exploring is good, but there's such a thing as too much exploring, and also too much sitting around camp. There's an equal balance to it all that seems to work for me. Now, maybe walking around for miles works for other people, and that's good. I know some people, they have really good luck just sitting at camp, just relaxing and not exploring at all, and it seems like they get a lot of activity. But these things are predators, and they hone in on prey per se. Not to say the people that are sitting around are prey, but they want to be the ones that are in charge. They want to be in control, and it makes sense. Earlier when I was just sitting here, and then I heard, and then that blew my mind, honestly. My mind's still a little warped over that. My adrenaline just went doof. Oh wow, that light seems like it's further away now. I'm gonna keep an eye on that light. Maybe it's like a dusk to dawn light somewhere, and it just seems like it's closer than what it is. Okay, so Yahi is fixed on whatever's down there. He was looking that way where I originally heard the wood knocks and the tree crashed. Or the tree crashed. But something's got his attention. He's really looking. You can tell when his demeanor changes, like, because he's just like running around playing, having a good time, doing whatever, and then he does this. What's wrong, my little Muppet? I had a message at him. I told him that they did 2 powerful wood knocks and then pushed over a tree. And there wasn't like much of a break there. It was like it was cool. Dang. The heck is going on here? Alright, he's relaxing. He's always by my feet. Like when I'm at home, he's like sitting right next to me. If I get up and move around, he gets up and moves with me. If I go in my computer room, he lays right there at my feet. When I go to bed, he follows me and lays down. He's a pretty good dog. What is it, Yahi? He must be worn out. I got to keep in mind that these things can put animals in a trance, produce infrasound. So I got to keep an eye on them. But that's what blew my mind with the jet black Sasquatch. When he walked off, like he got up and walked off, dude, he didn't make a sound. It was dead silent. Weird. I heard voices. Sound like human conversation. My buddy Joe, the Ozark Hairy Man, taught me this. Like, use something to block your view. Like, stand by your vehicle, but hide behind it. Don't just stand out in the open and record these things. Because they're more likely to come out if they can't see you. They don't like it when they can't see you. Doing okay? Doing okay? But I do know they are around, and I feel like they're going to come into my camp to play tonight. Most likely they're going to wait till I give up, lose interest, lay down in my cot, and then bam. But if they do, that'd be cool. Hopefully the audio recorder picks it up, and I will have my camera nearby. So far tonight, 2 wood knocks, big tree cut pushed down, and some strange lights. Not sure about the lights though. Can't say 100% sure. Some distant vocalizations that I believe to be coyotes. What are you doing, Yahi? Yeah, he's acting a little strange, a little funky. What I find the most interesting about it is he's looking in the direction where the activity is coming from. Like, he's been keeping his eye on that. So he's really weird. We still have that to look forward to tonight, where he just like freaks out and starts barking. And you guys have seen him. He's been pretty chill the entire night. He hasn't barked at anything. He never barks. But when I take him on trips like this, he will lose it. So there's like a double-edged sword here. If I let the fire die, I can't see anything around me. But if I build up the fire, the sound of the fire crackling really dampens out a lot of distant noise, which kind of sucks. So it's like, do you want it bright, or do you want some noise? Or do you want it to be completely dark and you're gonna be tripping over things? Like I said, I like the safety and security of the fire. It provides warmth, light, and it makes me feel like I'm not just like locked up in some dark room. Weird, that one sounded like a hyena laughing. Most likely dogs. We heard something moving around right over here. Not too much happened. Seems like they don't like outsiders. The last time I camped here, they were throwing rocks through the air. I left a gifting basket and something hairy showed up on the camera because I put a trail camera inside the basket. They chewed up all the lollipops. They ate the banana, I think is what was in there. But you just see something hairy messing with it. You can't tell what it is, but I did that in the pine thicket over there where they... What are you doing? Where they left a bunch of structures. You having a good time? Alright. I'm gonna need you to be prepared. Sasquatch is coming, okay? They are right down there. What are you gonna do when they show up? Huh? What are you gonna do? Alright, I put on the Squatch helmet and I got the earbuds going, the Walker earbuds with the omnidirectional mics and the pulsar thermal device hooked up to the helmet, and I forgot how cool this thing is. But yeah, nothing's happened at camp, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go down to the creek bottom, down into the holler, and sit right there on those logs where I left the offering at. I feel like I have to go down there. So that's what we're gonna do next. We can't just sit around and wait. Like I said, there has to be an equal balance, and I'm tired of waiting. I know they're here though. In my opinion, that was without a doubt the Sasquatch. What's gonna wood knock, boom, 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 and then push over a huge tree simultaneously, like, yeah. But yeah, no heat signatures, no owls, no coyotes. The woods is silent. I haven't seen too much, but I have to make something happen. They're here for sure. I mean, they told me, and I feel like they did that because I left the offering, so I'm responsible to go down there and see if they'll interact with me. Maybe I'm mistaken, but that's what I'm gonna do. That's what my intuition is telling me, and I'm out here, so I might as well, right? All right, Yahi, stay. I'll be back, okay? Good boy. Off we go. It's impossible to be quiet when you're walking through the woods at nighttime. That's wild. I'm over 100 yards away from the campfire, and the Walker earbuds still pick up the crackling of the fire. Blows my mind. So that means if these things are around and they're moving, I should be able to pick them up. But I feel like they can hear way better than what I can with the Walker earbuds because they use echolocation and who knows what else. I definitely have like ultrasonic hearing. I don't know if that's a thing, but that's what I'm calling it. I'm almost to the offering spot. Honestly, I don't know where I'm at. Weird, this tree wasn't there before, I don't think. Where am I? Sticker bushes. Alright, the coffee's still there, the apple, the cinnamon, and the tea leaves. We'll sit here for a little while, see what happens, and yeah, basically I'm just gonna sit on that log and watch the surrounding area and just listen with the bionic hearing, the Walker earbuds, and I'll document anything if it happens. Who knows? I know they're here. They definitely gave me something, and that's what I asked for. I told them just to give me something. Alright, I'm sitting on the log. We'll see if anything comes in. If there's going to be a place to experience the activity, it's going to be right here, and this is where I feel like they hang out at the most. So I'll just let the camera roll. I'm going to hit record on the thermal device too. Can you guys give me something? Alright, I'm hearing something. Something was like creaking and snapping. Do you guys have supernatural abilities? I left you guys an offering. That is for you guys. Do you want to scare me out of the area? Do you consider me a friend? Is Todd Standing a fraud? I don't know. I had asked a weird question. We have movement. I can hear it to my right. That way. If you want me to leave, make your presence known. Give me one loud scream and I will pack up and leave. Alright, so I know you guys like to mess with rocks in this particular area. So I'm going to do some rock collects. Can you guys communicate by rock collecting? I understand you guys just want to be left in peace. People know you guys exist. The First Nations people have interacted with you guys, the Native Americans, and many people today. We know you guys exist. We want to leave you guys at peace. I want to leave you guys at peace. I can't speak for everyone. There are bad humans. But sometimes silence penetrates deeper than words. It's true. Sometimes no answer is the best answer. Huh? No, I can definitely understand why you guys don't want to interact with me. I have cameras here, and I'm trying to document you. That may be seen as selfish, and I'm definitely aware of that. But I never give up trying. I'm always trying. And I'm always failing. It's alright though, right? What's crazy is there is absolutely no heat signatures. Like, this place is void of life. There's no deer, no possums, raccoons, flying squirrels, nothing. If there is something around, it's really thick down here because I'm in a creek bottom. The air is definitely cooler, and it's harder to hear things when you're in a low spot like this. Well, dang it. My energy is running low. Ugh. I've got a major headache down here too. I think it's because of the helmet. Alright, one thing that's worrying me is Yahi is alone back at camp, so I gotta go back over there to check on him because we separated and I'm worried that these things will come in and grab him. Maybe I'm just being paranoid, but it's not good to leave Yahi there for too long. So we're going back. Okay, let's do it. Well, that was surprising. I didn't experience anything down at the creek bottom. We're definitely here though. I feel like when I lay down in my cot, they're gonna show up. For some reason, I got a massive headache down there. I think it was the pressure from the helmet. I don't know, really. I started feeling like queasy, massive headache. I mean, it was horrible. So what I'm gonna do is eat one of these Jack Link's jalapeno beef sticks with cheese. I need some energy. What the hell was that? Did you hear that, Yowie? Even Yowie freaked out. Sounded like thunder. That was weird. I don't know what that was. It freaked Yowie out. I mean, he's freaked out. Did you hear that, buddy? He's looking that way. What was it? Oh, man. What was it, bro? He wants some of this Jack Link's. That was weird, though. It sounded like heavy thunder, or like a bomb went off far away. I don't know. Alright. David from the Killing Fields got Yowie some bacon strips when I was out there hunting. And we're gonna give him some. It smells like bacon, I mean, it's pretty good. Come on, over here. This way. This way. Ooh. Don't knock over the camera. Alright. You want some? You want some? Yum. He loves these things. Big shout out to Big D for buying some bacon strips. He's the happiest dog on the planet. Also, if the Sasquatch wants some bacon strips, I have some right here. They're really good. They really do smell like bacon. Worn out. That was a long walk down to the creek with all the gear, because you have to go like really slow and methodically. But it was so loud, it was like crunch, crunch, snap. All right, you want another one? We'll give you another one since we're out here camping. Ooh, I had something else for you, but I lost it. All right, guys, it's getting late. Kind of beside myself. I don't know why they did that. Why would they knock really darn loud and crush a tree only to leave me empty-handed? I don't have anything else, buddy. David got that for you. Spare no expense. David loves Yowie. David, if you're listening, Yowie loves you and Linda. Alright, I'm going to tune out. I'm just going to sit here, relax. Alright, so one thing that I do want to acknowledge is that light that I seen over there earlier when I was talking shortly after the wood knocks and the tree crash. Remember how I said there was a bright light over there? It is not there anymore. Totally not a dusk of dawn light, and I feel like that was an orb. Hopefully I filmed that. I was trying to. I'm not sure if I got it on camera, but wow. Yeah, it seemed like it was only, I would say, like 50 to 70 yards off. Like it was right there. My first thought was, who the heck is watching me? Somebody is out there with the flashlight. And then it hit me like, oh man, that could be an orb. But then the logical, rational side of my brain said, yeah, it's probably a light, probably a house. You're looking at a dusk of dawn light. But yeah, it's not there anymore. No matter like what angle I move and look, like I can't see it. Earlier it was like right there. Kind of freaked me out because it's nothing but woods around here. Like I said, there's houses far off in the distance, but not that close. My mind always gravitates towards crackheads. I'm like, who is out here? There's a crackhead out in the woods. Because you don't know. I mean, like, that's what they do. They walk around at night with like flashlights. I could have just seen an orb. and I think that's what it was. I really do feel like these things are waiting for me to get in my tent, and they're gonna make their move. Boom. Yahi hasn't freaked out tonight. He's sitting right here at my feet. And yeah, at the Berryman campground, I'm not sure if you guys have seen that video. I will leave a link down in the description as well. He freaked out. He freaked out. And I would say probably 10 minutes after the first freak out. Weird. Sounded like something moved. 10 minutes after the first time he freaked out, there was a loud, powerful wood knock. Just boom. Solid wood knock. It was awesome. And then when Adam and Shelby showed up out there, which was really cool because I asked them if they wanted to come. It was already like 7 o'clock. They showed up probably around 8 or 9. And as soon as they got out of the Jeep and we started talking, he freaked out because I was telling Adam about that. I was like, dude, he was freaking out. Yeah. And they got to see it, which was pretty cool. But I witnessed a bulk of Yahi's freak out, which was cool because he'd run out there, ruff, 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 start barking, and then he'd run inside the tent. And then he'd come back out, bark, 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 look at me, and then run back inside the tent. And he'd sit inside the tent and he'd repeat that, but he was like, aren't you coming? Like, there's a skinwalker out there. It was I can't say for sure, but I theorize that it was a crawler, what people call a rake, because I've seen one in the area through my pulsar thermal device, clear as day. I thought it was a juvenile Sasquatch crawling at me like a spider. Then it threw its head up like this and then took off. But one of my friends, not too far away from there, her neighbor saw a crawler, and basically she walked outside one night to get her dog, and this crawler had her dog in its mouth, and I don't know how she did it, but she yelled at it, screamed at it, and it dropped the dog and took off running. And the dog's okay. The dog's still alive, but it's definitely freaky. A lot of people theorize that the crawlers are subterranean supernatural creatures and they come out of caves, which would make sense because these things can crawl like spiders. So they would be able to get into those tunnels that lead into huge caves. And for us humans, it's really hard to navigate through those tunnels. And it's weird, like the anticipation, knowing that they're out there. I mean, I heard of them, and it's like, you don't know what they're going to do next. So you're essentially bait out in the middle of the woods. And it's like, if Bigfoot doesn't show up, what else will show up? Maybe nothing will happen, but what if something does happen? What will I do? Will I be ready? Will I have to use my camera or my pew-pew? Like, what's going to happen? Will I be asleep? Will I even wake up when they're out there stomping around? I don't know. But I think I will, because I got Yahi. He'll freak out. He is out. He is absolutely out of energy. Let me show you guys. Here's our only defense weapon. Yahi. Hey. Yahi. Yahi. Don't freak me out like that. I thought you were dead, man. Usually he looks up. He didn't move. Kind of scared me. Oh boy. My early detection system has fell asleep on the job. Alright, we're going to take shifts and we're going to rotate. I'll sleep for 2 hours, then you come out here and we switch around, okay? Oh, he's out. Once he's out, he's out. Dang it, I'm on my own. Everyone bails on me. Stop, Yahi. No. No. Leave him alone. No. No. No.
Alright, that was a rough night as usual, but I could not fall asleep. I drank an energy drink way too late last night and it kept me up, but I didn't hear anything strange. And maybe something happened after I fell asleep, but I doubt it because Yahi didn't go nuts. Oh man. It's Christmas Day though, so I gotta head over to my family's and cook some food, but I'll come back out here and do some research while I'm waiting for the rest of my family to show up. But yeah, Merry Christmas to you guys and Happy Holidays.
All right, not too much happened last night. I could not sleep. I drank that energy drink like at 10 p.m. and I just laid there till about 3. So that was actually kind of a good thing because something did happen. I was awake, but I don't know what happened after that. I'll have to review the audio. And yeah, without a doubt, those 2 to 4 wood knocks that I heard were definitely Sasquatch because that tree was pushed down with force. I don't know what else would knock powerfully like that and then smash a tree. If the tree just fell and that was isolated on its own, I would say, who knows? But something was beating the crap out of a tree right before that happened. And yeah, at least they gave me something, so I feel like the offering definitely worked. What I'm going to do today, it's actually Christmas, so Merry Christmas to everyone. I know you guys will be watching this after Christmas, and that's okay. I want to wish all my viewers a Merry Christmas, and I appreciate all you guys, and hopefully you guys have a blessed day. But anyways, I'm going to explore around here and see what kind of sign I can find, and I'm going to throw the drone up in the air, try to get some cool footage, and who knows, maybe we'll capture one of these things. It really does suck that I don't have the Autel Alpha drone. I waited all year for the leaves to fall off the trees, and right there during the fall time, the thing crashed. I'm done talking about it. Every time I think about it, it makes me upset, and nothing I can do other than be professional about it, avoid the situation in the future, and try to handle my present situation that I'm dealing with. But yeah, anyways, we'll do some exploring. Hopefully we find some sign. We need to go check the offering area. Maybe they took something. I don't know. I feel like I made peace with them. It feels a lot lighter in here. I'm not sure how to describe that, but we'll see how things unfold in the future, and we need to get out there and look for these things. Let's do it. All right, we got the DJI Mini 2. Let's throw this puppy up in the air, and I haven't used it in a while.
Home point updated.
That drone is so much more quiet than the Autel. It's insane. I forgot how quiet that thing is. Awesome. Hopefully we got some good footage. It's hard to tell on this little screen, but we might see something on there. All right, it is night number 2, and it's Christmas, by the way. So Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed your day and your time with your family. I certainly did, but all my gear was still out here. I didn't have enough time to break everything down, so I figured why not stay for night number 2. I went down there to set my audio recorder to turn on at 6 p.m. and the battery was dead, so I thought, okay, that's strange. So I walked all the way over here. I had some extra batteries, and for some reason they didn't work, so I went back home and grabbed a few batteries. But when I was setting up the battery right here, I was getting all the settings turned on and ready to go, and I heard a strange vocalization, the exact area where I heard the knocks last night and the tree get pushed over. So I was like fumbling to quickly get the audio recorder set up, but I don't know, it sounded like an owl, just a really strange owl. That's the best way I can describe it. I can't mimic it, and yeah, I don't know what it was, but I went down there, I didn't hear it anymore, and the recorder should be on. Sorry, can't see anything. It's 6:01, so the recorder's been running for 1 minute. Hopefully it turned on. Sometimes it doesn't turn on. I have issues with the recorders, but for the most part they work pretty good. The Sasquatch are sneaky. Where that tree went down, where I heard the wood knocks, that's right there on the creek bottom, and there seems to be a lot of activity. Looking at the situation from a physical, unknown, undiscovered primate point of view, they are following the waterways, and the creek pours into the Merrimack River. But also, knowing what I know and seeing the supernatural associated with the activity and where the creatures have went to and came from, and where all the activity is, like if I plot every single experience and encounter on a map, there seems to be a core area. So my other theory is it's a portal area. Somewhere around there, there's a portal. It has something to do with caves, waterways, and I don't know what else, but the offering that I left behind is right off the creek. It's where they've left some activity, where they've left some gifts in the past, and where I've had some strange activity. So I'm hoping that they'll give me a little something. Maybe the offering wasn't official. I didn't do it exactly how the First Nations people or the Native Americans would do it, other than leaving some items and just talking to them. I mean, I don't know what they do with their ceremonies, like how they go about it, but I went about it my own way, and I did experience some activity. So maybe I reached like level number 1, and there's like 5 different levels. But there's no way to know if they're actually out here or not without staying another night. I feel like one night is not sufficient enough, and you can't be a real researcher. I don't even consider myself a researcher, but if you're out there trying to investigate the activity, you can't be a real researcher if you don't stay the night and camp out in the woods. Like, that's great if you run a podcast or you write books or you go out hiking for like 2 or 3 hours with your girlfriend, but it's not enough. And I feel like what I'm doing out here is not enough. Like, if you really wanted to conduct legitimate research, you'd have to live out there. Hopefully these things interact with me, and the offering was there this morning, and I didn't get a chance to explore the forest after I threw up the drone, and it's too hard to see like on the drone because my phone connects to it and the screen's too little, so I couldn't tell if there was like deer, Sasquatch walking around or anything. I just got really good cinematic footage, and I'll blow it up on my TV later. But yeah, I'm running on empty too. My batteries are low, but I'm remaining optimistic and staying positive. I'm just grateful to be out here, honestly. I spent the day with my family. We opened up presents. I ate really good food. I probably don't need to eat for the next 4 or 5 days. But yeah, I'll tune in with you guys. I think I might go walk down to the exact spot where that tree got pushed over, and it's paralleling where the offering gifting area is at. But I want to go exactly where I keep hearing like all the sounds coming from, and that's where the deer came out of yesterday. Like I said, I'm camping right off of a game trail, so these things should not be too far behind. All right, so what I'm going to try to do now is a wood knock on this tree. Typically it doesn't work. It has worked in the past, but I want to possibly trigger some activity. So yes, I'm desperate and I'm going to try it. Okay, let's do it. I got Yahi with me, so if the wood knock works, maybe he will alert me. He definitely alerted me last night when the deer showed up. I could hear them moving, and I saw them on the thermal, and it seems like Yahi can see at nighttime, so that's cool. He's walking around the camera making all kinds of noise, so I apologize. Here in a little bit, we'll try some rock clacks. We'll wait about an hour, but we'll see what happens. All right, we just got a powerful wood knock. In the same area where that tree got pushed down and where the wood knocking happened yesterday. It almost sounded like a gunshot. I do have the audio recorder going. Hopefully it's on, but we'll see if it picked it up. So it's 7:36, so an hour and 36 minutes, and hopefully I can remember that. There is an old state highway that runs a few haulers away, and unfortunately there are some cars at the Friday night. It's Christmas and people are just running back and forth. That's how it is on weekends around here. Yeah, he seems a little spooked too. Oh, he is on to something. What is it, buddy? What is it? I'll show you guys kind of what he's doing. I don't know if you guys can see him. What is it? He's on to something though. Kind of weird he reacted that way after I heard what sounded to be a wood knock. It could have been a gunshot, but it didn't sound like a gunshot. It just was powerful like that. He's definitely more alert though and looking in that direction. He was completely fine before, just sitting there chewing on himself and playing in the leaves. Now he's sitting up watching. So if it would have been a gunshot, I don't feel like he'd be reacting that way. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. The heck was that?
sounded like a vocalization. Maybe it was a dog in the distance. Alright, so I'm tired of sitting at camp and waiting for something to happen, so I'm going in the direction where I've heard things. And yeah, I'm kind of spooked about it, but I gotta make something happen, and most likely nothing will happen. Maybe me coming down here will trigger something, or I'll find something strange, but it's cool to sit at camp. Cool to look around, but eventually the trail just ends. You can't force these things to make a move. Maybe you can, but I haven't figured it out yet. There's little things you can do that might get their attention. I got a camera, I got an audio recorder, I've cooked food, I left offerings, done wood knocks. I'm in the area. Who else is camping out in the woods during Christmas? Actually, push this tree over. Maybe that'll get their attention. Push over a few trees. See if that ticks them off. Oh yeah. No. Go back. He got worried about me, so he came and checked on me. But he's pretty good about staying at camp. Hopefully he doesn't follow me down here. He's just too noisy. I need him at camp to alert me if anything comes around. But as far as going through the woods, he makes so much noise, it's insane. I'm telling you, that tree that got pushed over yesterday was monstrous. And the wood knocks, they were powerful and violent. People always complain that I'm constantly filming myself, but that's just how I run the channel, guys. I try to paint the picture and talk with you guys as if you were here, but here we go. People want to see what's going on. Okay, so actually this tree right here, there would be a juvenile Sasquatch that would come up from this drainage down from the creek bottom, and he would hide behind there. That one that I said poofed into, like, I mean, the one that like disappeared, he was hiding behind that tree. And I'd always hear him, but I just thought it was like a little critter. But basically it looked like somebody threw dust up into the air and the wind took it. This was the spot. But yeah, this is the direction where I heard the tree get pushed over, like right down here. So maybe they're coming up and watching me. It's crazy that I'm standing in a spot where a Sasquatch would hang out at. Pretty crazy. And up there in camp, that's where I would sit at in my chair. And he would come up from the bottom here and stand right here. I couldn't see him from where I was, but I snuck down that trail, and I think he thought I was up there. And when he saw me, he grunted really loud. It was a monstrous grunt, and then he blew. You could see the fog come out of his nose, and when I looked over at him, he was probably like 4 or 5 feet tall, like a reddish brown color, and he poofed into thin air. Kind of like when a squid, or I don't know if it's a squid, an octopus, I think it's an octopus, like when they spray the ink and they disappear, that's kind of what it looked like. I don't know how to describe that because it's so foreign to me. Weird. There's a strange smell down here. And I got this feeling of dread. Kind of like I'm overwhelmed, tired, drained. Trying to be as quiet as possible, but I'm going straight down that drainage where I said the Sasquatch would come up out of. And here's another tree exactly like it. So I think he'd hit cedar tree number 1. Hang on, let me adjust this. Cedar tree number 1. It's the same way. They're both pushed over, and then the limbs grew straight up. So he'd hit cedar tree number 1, then go to number 2 towards me. He was a very smart, a very cunning creature. I don't know how many there were in the clan. I suspect anywhere from like 9 to 12 of them. Originally I thought 6, but after I seen the eye shine, I was like, okay, there's definitely like a big group of them. But yeah, we're going downhill. Very tricky to walk in the woods at nighttime. I'll tell you guys on camera, I am scared. I'm scared. I really am. The further and further I get down in here, the more terrified I am. Yeah, we're almost to the spot where they would knock last night. But I mean, I went this far yesterday when I went to the offering area. But over here is where I know they were at. Kind of freaky. Alright, I just want to say Merry Christmas. I don't know why I said that. It is Christmas though. Man, I gotta show you guys how this looks. I've seen some big old bucks down here. Throughout the years, the bucks have disappeared for some reason. I really do think the disease got them, because I did find a bunch of dead bucks throughout the years down here in this creek bottom. A lot of people say it's not true, it's just the government lying, but I don't know. I feel like there's two sides to every story. I don't know why I threw that, but I did. What was that? Huh. Not sure what that was. Alright, so down here is where they did the wood knocks and pushed over the tree. Oh yeah, there's something down here. I hear something tapping over there. Something was moving over there, and then something's moving over here. We'll push a little further. There's no marked trail, we're just walking through the forest. It's gonna be hard to figure out what tree was pushed over. Like I said, there's a bunch of knocked over trees out here. But this one looks suspicious. I don't think it was that one. It was definitely something bigger than that. anytime I'm out in the woods, especially out at the killing fields, I try not to think of that dog man howl that I heard. But I can't help but to think of it right now, because this is where that thing was, in this area. He was like right up there, pretty close to my old house. God, it was the most god-awful howl I've ever heard in my life. Horrifying. It was absolutely evil. I've heard a lot of vocalizations. People send me things all the time, but still, it does not compare to what I heard that night. It was so horrible. Awful. Absolutely awful. What am I doing? We're gonna trick them though. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut down the viewfinder and keep the camera rolling. Alright. Make them think I'm not recording. I'm gonna put the camera down and kind of carry it to my side. Hey, I left you guys something behind. Left you guys some gifts. Tangled up here. Alright, there's definitely a spooky vibe in this particular spot. I don't know what it is. This is like the core area of where I heard that huge tree get crushed. I know I keep talking about that, but that's how much it affected me. I wish you guys could have heard it. Something's not right though in this spot. Something is definitely wrong. I don't know how to describe it to you guys. It's just a very oppressive feeling. Oh man. I'm not trying to be dramatic. Something is not right here. And this is what I'm seeing with the naked eye. I'll show you guys. Nothing. I need to turn on my lamp or else I can't see nothing at all. Whoa, the atmosphere changed. Wow. So much colder here. Why is it so cold? I am by a creek, but I've been by the creek. This is another section of the creek. Wow. It's like I walked into a completely different climate. Something's about to happen. I can feel it. Oh man, I'm starting to have really dark thoughts. I don't want to say what I'm thinking. If I say it, it could be bad. I just want to get out of here. I hope I don't see anything too creepy, but I feel like I am. Like I'm gonna see something that I won't be able to erase. I know these woods like the back of my hand. Even at nighttime, wouldn't be able to get lost out here. No GPS needed. I'm probably a mile away from my camp. It's alright. We'll find our way. We do not want to fall into this creek. But it's not holding a lot of water right now. Usually it's like a raging river. Oh my god. What was that? I'm regretting not bringing the pew pew. Why did I not bring that? Dang it. I should have brought it. Oh my gosh, it's super slick right here. I gotta get off these rocks immediately. We gotta get out of here. Alright, so the direction that I'm going is exactly where that evil werewolf howl came from. And this is probably where that big tree went down to. Somewhere around here. I'm in the core area. There's something over there. Let's go. I just want to get out of here, honestly. I need to get back to camp. Something don't feel right. Alright, so not a whole lot is going on tonight, but my friend Adam told me to
try a different call. I did push over some trees. That's something a little different. Obviously they weren't very big trees, but still, I feel like that sent a message. So I'm gonna try a different call. Let's give it a shot. We'll see what that might bring in. Might not do anything, but maybe it will. I've just been sitting here at camp and listening to the forest. Honestly, it's been dead tonight, so I guess that's all that's gonna happen. And the cool thing is we got out here, we tried, and we gave it our best. It was spooky walking down there along the creek bottom, and it definitely had a different vibe. But yeah, it's Christmas tonight and I'm out here alone, which is kind of disheartening, but I'm enjoying the fire. Yeah, I was just laying next to the chair. Got some coyotes going off. It doesn't sound too far off either. The first vocalization really sounded strange though. The wind really picked up. I've just been chilling at camp. Not too much has happened. A few pops, a few coyotes.
What is it, yeah? What is it? What is it, man? I don't know what it is. I heard footsteps. Okay, little guy. It's okay. It's okay. What is it? Okay. I was falling asleep. Dang it. Why does everything have to happen when I'm in my tent? It's okay. Calm down. He doesn't like animals walking up on us. Let's see what happens. I'll pause this. What is it, buddy? We in the clear? Yeah, we just freaked out on something out there. I was just falling asleep and I heard footsteps. They stopped pretty close to the tent. Why does everything happen when I fall asleep? Oh my gosh. What is it, buddy? What is it? Get it, boy. Get it, yeah. We're pretty much like a sack lunch in here, buddy. What is it, buddy? What is it? Huh? Whatever it is, it's out there. And where in here, Bubby? So tired. Alright, if something serious happens, I'll let you guys know.
Alright, I slept pretty good last night. There was something that walked past my camp, and I was pretty much completely asleep, and I was hearing something moving and falling into a deeper sleep. And then Yahi started growling and barking, and then I heard it. It's like, oh man, I wasn't dreaming. I did hear that. So something walked past my camp. Did it sound bipedal? Kind of. It was definitely not a small game animal. Yahi kept barking, and I got him to calm down. But the strange thing is, whatever was like pretty much right next to my camp, as soon as Yahi started barking, it just disappeared. Nothing took off running, nothing walked away. That's it, gone. I never got out of my tent because, I don't know, it's kind of a pain in the butt to gather all my stuff, unzip everything. Yahi's gonna run out, and then it's gonna be really hard to film. I just wanted to let whatever it was do its thing. But yeah, today is the last day. I'm going to go out there and research and look for structures, any rock stacks, anything strange that I can find. Hopefully some tracks. Right now in the winter time, the ground is freezing at nighttime, thawing during the day, and the pattern continues back and forth. So when something steps on the ground, it leaves a track. And during the summertime, everything's rock solid, and it's really hard to find tracks unless you're like by creeks, rivers, sandbanks, muddy areas. And yeah, we'll see what we can do. I appreciate everyone for watching these videos, and hopefully something happens while I'm out there, and maybe the audio will reveal a different side of the story. But yeah, the coolest thing that happened was that big tree getting pushed down and the wood knocks before that happened. That was really cool. And like I said before, I don't walk away from these trips without experiencing at least one strange thing. But we'll try to gather more evidence. And thank you everyone for following Sasquatch Theory. Thank you to the channel members, the people that support these videos. I couldn't do any of this without you guys. This is the area where I saw the jet black Sasquatch. He walked through here and into those cedar trees. Always got to check out this area, and I always wonder if he's still around. I don't see anything new here in this particular spot, but we'll keep pushing through the forest, and hopefully we find a clue. You really got to look hard because you can really miss little things, and depending on what angle you walk through the forest, you'll see things differently and pick up stuff that you didn't see before. It's kind of strange that I wished the Sasquatch a Merry Christmas last night. Hey, they deserve a little something too. I left them an offering during Christmas. That's even more significant now that I think about it. Who else is doing that? As I'm walking through the woods, I think I see one of my old peanut butter jars. Let me show you guys. So there's a peanut butter jar that I gifted in the past, and I think this is actually kind of cool because look, there's no scratch marks on it, nothing was torn open, and just the lid is missing. And like I said, these things disappear and then they eventually come back. So something twisted off the lid. Do you think a raccoon would do that without gnawing at it and there being bite marks all over it? Wow. Amazing. I'm gonna leave this here. I normally do not litter, but I think it's cool. So I'm gonna leave that. The deer has been rubbing on this cedar tree, and there's that tree that I said the Sasquatch would hide behind, and then they're in a line. There's another one up here. I don't know if you guys could see that at nighttime, but there's another pushed over cedar where the limb has grown straight up. So it's the same way with this one, but they come out of this. See how there's a drainage here? It drains down to that creek bottom. Creek bottom runs that way, but they come up through this drain. They hide at point A, point B, and then there's actually a third cedar tree, but they're all in a line. I feel like they pushed them over purposely, or they just grew that way and the Sasquatch naturally use it. But this is a game trail, as you guys can see, which is really cool. All the wildlife follows the waterway, specifically this creek in this area. I wish I owned some property off the Merrimack River, but I do have friends that live on the Merrimack and they'll let me go explore. But that's where a lot of the spooky stuff is happening. All right, I think we have success. I'm gonna show you guys the offering area. It seems like something got into it. I'm not seeing the apple, maybe something knocked it off. But how cool is that? Something totally got into it. It may be a raccoon or another small critter, but maybe the Sasquatch got into it. We'll see what they took. Let me show you guys what I'm seeing here. Okay, so they totally took, all right, the cinnamon sticks, which they didn't take it because something knocked it off actually. The tea leaves here, the guayaba leaves, they're still here, but the apple's gone. I told you guys they like apples, but so do small critters. The coffee is still there. But yeah, look how cool those rocks are. You can't tell me that's random. Like I said, I'm here all the time, and those rocks were definitely placed there. And when I found them, there was fresh leaves, like it was super fresh. There's the log that I sat on, and there's the rocks that I used to clack. I put them on the log. But yeah, the apple's missing. So maybe a critter came through here, grabbed the apple, and took off. But hopefully it was a Squatch. I want them to know that I come here with respect. And yeah, hopefully they want some coffee. And put the cinnamon back on there and try to put it in a better place where it doesn't fall off. But yeah, we'll continue moving. Let me know your thoughts on that. What do you guys think that means? It's right along the creek. Obviously it doesn't look like a creek on video, but when it rains, man, this thing is flowing like a river. I've seen it from like both sides of the bank, and like you could totally take a kayak through here. But yeah, that one time they threw that rock and it hit over here. One of those limbs was just swinging back and forth. But I was over there looking at that rock circle and I touched one of them, and that's when they threw something. It was awesome. I didn't see what threw it, but I mean, what else can throw a rock like that? All right, guys, this is really cool actually. Okay, so there's the gifting site right there. There's the rocks. I just walked another 10 feet. I did not do this. Don't think that I'm like making stuff up, but check this out. So I walk up the riverbank, and look at that. Look at that. How cool is that? That rock did not get there on its own. And again, we have 3 or 4 rocks. Wow. Look at that. People always tell me don't touch their stuff, but I gotta look at it. I gotta investigate. Wow. So cool. All right, we found something. What are you guys' opinions about the rock stacks? What do you guys think that means? Let me know in the comments, guys. Give me some positive feedback, some knowledge, and I'll take it all into consideration. I really got to look around because, like I said, it's really easy to miss something. I feel like they like this spot because there's like a barrier here. Like it's a bend in the creek and they can hide and they can watch all around them. And it's a really thick spot, really thick area in here. Wow. Cool. I feel like they're back. They're back in black, guys. I love the Missouri woods. It's so beautiful in here. I just feel at home when I'm in Missouri. I've been to Colorado, the Carolinas, Alaska, Kentucky, but nothing compares to Missouri. Been to Indiana, Illinois. By far, Missouri is the best place to do research because you're not going up and down mountains. There's not too much farmland. There's just the perfect combination of forest and diverse habitat. Minnesota was pretty cool. I do gotta say Minnesota was awesome. So Missouri and Minnesota. Yeah, I think Arkansas would be cool. Hopefully I can check that out in the future. There's like 2 creeks right here that pour into one. Oh, wow, something's been walking through here. You can see a disturbance in the ground. Something crossed the creek right here. Probably a deer. I also wanted to mention to keep Adam and his family in your prayers. I know I've talked about his house burning down, but recently Shelby, his brother, got admitted to the hospital, and he seems to be having the same issues that Adam was having as far as like levels being really low, heart issues, and they're not really sure what's going on, but keep them in your prayers. And even before all that, Adam was having issues, and before all that, his dad got cancer, and I think Tim's wife, Adam's mom and dad, they both got cancer. So their family has really been hit hard. They've been through a lot. Keep them in your prayers. We do research with them, and it's nice to have somebody who actually believes your encounters and they've had experiences themselves. But you know, it's hard to find friends like that. You gotta, you know, you can't take it for granted, because when you find people that want to do research, believe in Bigfoot, are kind people, it's just a hard combination to find, especially with me. Being into this subject, it really narrows down people that you can be friends with and socialize with, hang out with, whatever. So hopefully they make it through it, because I need my Sasquatch buddies. It's rough doing this alone. It gets boring, especially camping out at nighttime. During the day it's cool exploring alone, but when you're out there in the wilderness at night, you wonder to yourself, what the heck am I doing out here? So it's nice to have people that'll go out there and look with you, especially in dangerous areas. Man, it's a good day to be alive. I also know there's a lot of people that watch the channel that have disabilities, illnesses, people that can't get out there, and they watch these videos because it makes them feel like they're out there exploring. They're right there with me. People experience loneliness, depression, anxiety, and nobody's immune from depression, anxiety. A lot of people make fun of others and say they got psychological issues. It could happen to you. You know, you could easily get cancer. Somebody could divorce you, abandon you. Your house could burn down, you lose your job. It could happen to anyone. So if you make fun of people who are going through this, it's going to happen to you eventually. So keep that in mind. A lot of people don't know what it feels like, but it's definitely a thing that can happen to anyone. So I appreciate all you guys for going through things, that watch the videos, and I hope it brings some sort of comfort to you, knowledge, and truth in your journey. So this is an area where the big bucks like to bed, and the deer in general, and right before it gets dark they come out. But I know this is where they like to bed because I've seen them up here, and when I've harvested a few deer, they come up here and lay down for safety. But yeah, year after year, I've seen them come out of this area. So I feel like the Squatch like to be in here as well. That cedar tree's flattened out. Cedars are pretty tough. It's hard to do that. I don't know what flattens these cedars out. But yeah, this is a cedar thicket on top of a big ridge. You can hear the highway around me, but it doesn't matter how far you are out there. Like, you can hear vehicles. I've been to conservation areas that are miles and miles away from civilization. You can still hear the interstate for some reason, and that's the world we live in. Everything's industrialized, and sound carries. It doesn't matter if you're in the middle of Canada, you're going to have planes flying over you, and there's going to be sound pollution. But yeah, a lot of people say, oh, what, a highway? I can hear a highway. Right, Bigfoot. Okay. But that's how it is. Even if you're in Alaska, there's highways and sounds of boats and planes all over the place. Doesn't mean there's still not a lot of woods out there. Oh wow, check this out. How cool is this? This is the sign that I've been waiting for. And I told you guys this is where the big bucks like to hang out at. That means there's a nice one in here. Wow, I wish I would have known this. Oh my gosh. Okay, so remember that structure that I showed you guys that I found last winter that I never put up on the channel? It's right there. But check this out. Look at that. That is a nice deer rub right there. Sorry guys, I get so excited about this. There's two of them right next to each other, so that means this is his bedding area. He's hanging out in here. And I've always wondered, like, what broke that cedar? I know it's old, but nothing fell on top of it. There's no big tree around it. But here's the old structure. So we have the buck rubs, obviously a deer trail or a bedding area for the deer. And I believe I still have footage of this structure, like where the break is like fresh, clean. When I was here, you could smell the cedar, and it told me that these things are still around. Got me excited. But yeah, look at that break. How cool is that? And that white oak right there was weaved into there. That cedar tree behind there was weaved into there. And I would say that's like 7 foot high. So these things come up, snap it, mark the tree, and then move on. But yeah, right next to those trees that are rubbed. Wow, I'm very impressed. There seems to be a correlation with deer patterns or wildlife patterns and the Sasquatch. They use the same trails, guys. I'm not making this stuff up. That's what's really cool about the Sasquatch topic, is even though they are supernatural creatures, I don't care what anyone says, they still have physical capabilities. They're physical creatures. They eat, they sleep, they will terrorize people. They have hair. They leave hairs behind tracks. People catch them on video, but yet the mystery continues. Wow. I'm gonna look hard in this area, because if the big bucks like to bed here, that means it's secluded. They feel safe here, so that makes sense why the squatch are moving through here. It's really thick. The sun barely penetrates through here, and there's water all around. Right here, like, there's just creeks all over the place that pour into this area. Wow. How cool is that? Yeah, it's pretty interesting, because most of the Sasquatch experiences that I have, the encounters, the strange finds, they're all in areas that seem to have a pattern where they continue to frequent at. And it's cool because you don't have to search all over the darn place. You just go back and check these areas, and eventually you find stuff. I do search all over the place, but that's what's led me to believe that they're in certain places. Wow, this spot's really cool. It's crazy how the land changes throughout the years. Strange, what's this? Okay, a little soccer ball. Interesting. So this is where I was walking through last night. It's actually a pretty cool little area here. Let me show you guys. When the creek's running, there's like a natural waterfall here. This is in my backyard where I used to live at. I used to sit right here on this rock, or that rock, and just sit here and think. I think I'm going to do that, and just do a quick prayer. Good little watering hole. But yeah, this is like the core of the area where I have
Camping
had
out
Sasquatch
here is different than
experiences.
just hiking
So a
through
lot of
during the
caves,
day.
springs,
At night, you're no longer
and,
passing through.
water.
You're staying. You're on their schedule now, whatever they are. These forests don't exist in isolation. They connect to Arkansas. They follow river systems. They create natural travel routes. If something is moving through the Ozarks, Missouri is part of that path. I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm just documenting where this happened and what I experienced. What you do with that information is up to you.
Alright, so we explored the surrounding forest. Now we're following the waterways. We'll see what kind of sign we find here. We'll have to be super careful because the rocks are really slick. We don't want to break
People
the
ask why I
camera
keep coming
or
back
break
to
a limb.
places like this. The answer isn't fear, it's curiosity. Once you realize there's more going on in these woods than we're told, you want to understand it. At night, everything feels closer, sound travels farther, your senses sharpen. You start to realize how little control you actually have out there. Some places give you answers, others just leave you with questions. This place left questions. Whether the Sasquatch want to be seen or not, this land holds something. And once you experience it for yourself, you never look at the woods the same way again. When you hear something big moving through thick brush, there's no mistaking it. This wasn't a deer, it wasn't fast, it wasn't careless, it moved with purpose. Like it knew exactly where it was going. The Sasquatch are always watching, and you never know when they will make their next move.
Whoa, this kind of looks like an arrowhead. I think it is. Wow. I just found a broken arrowhead. Look at that. How cool is that? Wow. Pretty sure that is an arrowhead. I wish it was still together. Maybe this is the other piece over here. Might be. I don't think so though. No, it's not. Wow, I'm gonna keep that one. That's a keeper right there. You can see the notches where they used to tie it around an arrow or a spear. Awesome. Did not expect to find that. But yeah, we're still in their core area, and hopefully we can find more. There's a big pine thicket up here. Well, I wouldn't say a huge pine thicket, but a pretty good sized pine thicket where they've left some structures in the past. And I want to check it out. Look at this. I feel like they're coming out of here. Like this is the portal area, or where they just like to go if they're physical, undiscovered creatures following the waterways. But they always come in and out of this area. This is where they head to when they run into me and come out of. That red-tailed hawk is squawking at something. Pretty cool, though. Alright, so here's the pine thicket. I set up a camera there years ago. Maybe we'll check them on this video and I'll show you guys what I have. Those cameras have been out for years, so the batteries have been dead for a long time. I had it set up on this vertical limb where the deer would come and rub their antlers, but something snapped it. Something broke it, which is strange. I don't think a deer would have been able to do that. I'm just seeing old structures so far. There was an X structure that they put up here not too long ago, so I'm looking for that and any new arches. This area was arch central, and the little juvenile would leave all kinds of intricate little structures communicating with me or the other clans, and it was so cool. Some of the structures were very impressive, very cool. So this is another area where I've had experiences, seen orbs, had rocks thrown, seen black shapes in the woods that I can't describe. It seemed like one black shape fell out of a structure. He just dropped out of it, which I thought was interesting. There's an old arch. I mean, this tree did fall, but that white oak is way over here. And like I said, it's arch central. Arches are known as gateways, just like the St. Louis arch. It's the gateway to the Midwest. See, like, check this out. See these little white oak trees? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're all arched. Same with this one over here. Another white oak. It's probably really hard to see on the camera, but you can tell that it's not natural. There's another arch, and like I said, they're really old, so they don't look as clear as they used to be. There seems to be like an X pattern with the pine trees that have fallen too that weave all these arches together. Alright, so I appreciate everyone for watching this video or these series of videos, and your guys' support means a lot, and that concludes the research for 2025. Hopefully 2026 reveals more clues and strange activity. Thank you to all the subscribers, the channel members, people who have supported these videos in the past, and I can't wait to get out there again. You guys be safe and watch your backs out in the forest.